We've always defined ourselves by the ability to overcome the impossible.
I discovered Interstellar not knowing what to expect, and I came out thinking that I probably haven't ever had a cinema experience that had me so conflicted. The good aspects definitely were outstanding in the film. The thing about Interstellar is that there is so much to talk about that it's difficult to cover every part of it. Let's start with the plot.
Humanity is on the edge to being completely extinct due to the natural resources which is dying over the years. However, upon the discovery of a wormhole, a group of astronauts led by Matthew McConaughey, aka Cooper, launch on an interstellar voyage to find a new home for a species.
The main interesting parts of Interstellar are its cosmic portions. It's a subject which I have a passion for, and it's clear that Christopher Nolan, the director, and his team gave great attention to details regarding the science that they were dealing with. What makes it more impressive is that the science of the movie is in fact mixed with the main plot.
In order to tell this story, a lot of research is required, and this is evident throughout the movie. It's nice to see a film that is sacrificing its intelligence to tell its story. The movie is very creative in how it deals with time and space. I felt like the story itself was very creative, and the main plot of the film reflects our species currently standing in the universe.
I've heard of criticism of the film. It didn't know what tone to take in terms of whether it wanted to be hyper-realistic or just a piece of entertainment. We'll expand more on this later, but for the most part we don't understand why can't it be both. I mean, this genre is science fiction. I don't see what's so different between the artistic elements of Interstellar's ending comparing with 2001, the Space Odyssey ending.
The film's concept is fantastic, and I really enjoyed how the backstory of Earth wasn't directly referenced in order to teach the audience the current situation about the characters. The backstory of it is crucial to understanding why these people have to explore other galaxies. And instead of telling us everything that happened beforehand, it shows us how daily life is being affected through these circumstances.
It's a little thing, I know, but we've seen it be far worse before. Plus the film overall does a great job of showing, not telling, considering how much the plot relies on science to tell its story. It's nice to see a film that isn't overwhelmed with too many dialogues. It actually has trust that the viewer has the ability of inference. I mean, if you don't understand relativity and other, then this movie isn't for you.
What are you going to do with it?
I'm gonna give it something socially responsible to do.
Interstellar has a large value, and it's wonderful to see the varied way which the crew created the film. Christopher Nolan is a director that we admire. It's really impressive to see a crew still take the effort to create an effect that will be much more difficult and time-consuming. When most filmmakers today would just choose CGI over realism, and it doesn't end there obviously, just because of the setting CGI is required, but even then it's really hard to create.
I mean, you just develop a new CGI software just so you can tell your story as close to reality as possible. That is a huge achievement. There are moments of presentation where the film manages to add the most inspiring clips in just a few shots that really amazed me. The cinematography is gorgeous. Nolan positions the camera to make a viewer a participant instead of a voyeur.
However, I felt like the film should have taken the time to allow everything to slow down during the journey through space, and allow the audience to take everything in. The sound design was brilliant. It really added to the atmosphere too. Okay, sure, all they had to do is mute everything, but it still really worked well.
We're going to write several technical papers about this. One aimed at the astrophysics community, and then something for the computer graphics community, saying, here are some things that we've discovered about gravitational lensing by rapidly spinning black holes that we never knew before.
The scenes were well done, but some parts had to be less dramatic. So no matter how you look at this film from a technical standpoint, it's sensational. The space segments are really spectacular. Done, but visually, there are many films that can't even compare with this film.
And there's the other side to the film. Interstellar is still a very much blockbuster film, and so to tell its story, it incorporates very weird storytelling methods. Thankfully, Matthew McConaughey does deliver a good performance as Cooper, and his character is quite well developed.
The chemistry between Cooper and his daughter Murph seemed realistic, but the performance of Murph was pretty bad. For those who don't know, this film takes place over many years, so Murph is played by both a child actor as well as an adult, and they were both played badly. The child actor is just bad. I did not believe one word she said, but the older actor was a bad performer, working with bad material. Also, I thought the film should have spent a little bit more time with Cooper and his son Tom.
Now, I'll be starting to say things that I really dislike from the movie. So, spoiler alert, plug your ears if you guys don't want to listen and don't look at the screen. So, it's about halfway point in the movie where the pace of the movie slows down after the space crew reaches the second planet. The crew finds Matt Damon's station and decide to land there to see if Matt is still alive. Surprisingly, Matt is still alive. Before, Matt was an astronaut working for NASA. His motivation makes no sense and his judgment makes no sense either. Later on, it turns out he's betraying the main crew. He goes on a walk with Matthew McConaughey and explains them his diabolical plan, which to be honest makes no sense, but then he decides to murder Matthew McConaughey but fails.
Then Matt Damon decides to leave the planet with one of the ships. Unfortunately, he forgot all the space training. He decides to not board his craft properly and open the space lock, which causes an explosion. That part was the worst part because the film focuses on that scene for at least half an hour. For a long time, it honestly just feels like a cheesy sci-fi flick.
This was a mistake that the director made a few times in the film. When he should have taken things slower, he wanted to rush them, and when he should have taken things faster, he slowered them.
To conclude, I rate this film 8 out of 10. The 8 stars are for cinematography, music, innovation, production, special effects, story/plot, camera angles, and editing. The 2 missing stars are the casting and character development.